I'm in complete awe of how she's managed to maximise her birthday to the full. It is now the end of October and celebrations are still in full swing.
Having been described at your last birthday as the Paris Hilton of East Lothian, I'd like to say you have a long way, but to date you have managed to have a birthday lunch, a birthday supper, 2 house parties, and tonight's party.
Nicely paid Louisa. I knew I would be proud. I first became friends with Louisa in 4th year of QM, the year of ample socials. This is the year we have all been waiting for. We cannot imagine the extent of planning that went into our outfits. All this went completely to waste as we stood on the opposite side of the room to the boys, refusing even to make eye contact. Louise, however, was never one to waste an opportunity, and before long she had the hot property of Roland Wood. At one point, the slight diffusion, she was an easy mistake to make. She had probably lost her contact lenses. I feel I should add that Louise is single-handedly responsible for ruining the prospects of QM girls by being the cause of a premature end to socials. It seems that she came crashing the windmill one too many times, treading on the toes of the Anfield girls in their own territory. If she couldn't have them, then nobody could.
Our latest trip to Zante showed the wilder side of Weases. Upon the arrival of the Swedish boys at the hotel, instead of going for thick car, like all 26 listed, Weases, fan of statistics and probability, set her sights on the underdog.
Can't see you. It's too dark.
She obviously snared him with her notorious dance moves. For those of you who haven't witnessed Weases' dance moves, they resemble something like a lazy, drunk octopus. Weases gained the reputation of child beater in Zante. Enthusiastically one night she was telling a story and threw her arms up in excitement and accidentally hit a child in the face. But due to her dislike of small children, she was far more interested in the shots being passed around the table than apologising to the family.
As we all know, Weases is prone to political rants. I say rants because none of us ever provided much match for debate with her. She reads the Week and I read, well, Vogue. Enter Will Louch. We spent a match when putting together a team for eggheads. Courtroom never stood a chance. Weases, always scornful of artistic and individual types, surprised us by going out with Louch, who, at her own admission, just looks like he's homeless half the time. Weases was very smooth. We thought we were having a bad dream, but no. We chucked a bucket of rum open just to chat. It was real.
As underage girls escaping from the convent, our choice of clubs in Edinburgh was fairly limited to the likes of grimy El Barrios and Shitty City. However, in recent years, Weases refined her choice in clubs in Edinburgh, notably turning her attention to Fingers Piano Bar. Receiving a call from a very flustered and hungover Weases saying, "Nisbet, you'll never guess what an absolute idiot I was last night." "No, Louisa, what on earth could you have done now?" "Well, Mary and I went out last night to Fingers and we ended up getting really, really drunk. I lost Mary, so decided at 4 in the morning it was a great idea to call Daddy. So I said to him, "Daddy, I can't get into Mary's flat. It's absolutely fine. This really nice guy called Craig said I can kind of stay at his." All I can imagine was Drew's face receiving this call on Weases in the morning when she found herself in a strange flat with Mystery Craig. Needless to say, Weases stayed clear of Fingers for a while. Now moving on to the gap here. Swapping tales between New York and Kenya, it became clear that Weases and I's experiences could not have been more like chalk and cheese. While I thought Weases would have found herself in Africa teaching children, it certainly was not the case. I came back to find an angry Weases who claimed, "Whoever said there's no food in Kenya is duped." That's so annoying. It's teacher, teacher. And I was just like, piss off and leave me alone. Tie-dye t-shirts. Her primary concern being she better drink. And I'm just going to be like, please don't wear those t-shirts in front of the children, they'll get epilepsy. Weases left to school in Kenya happy that she had accomplished what she had set out to achieve.
teach the children how to sing and dance to Rihanna's Disturbia. Weases was drawn towards the coast, lured by the prospect of Western food and fellow travellers. Here, she would not have to run across a war zone to get a Kit Kat, as she had claimed to do in Kenya, although she couldn't quite understand why the rest of the group was so determined to go on safari. After all, why bother when you can just go to the zoo back home? She was simply concerned about travelling with Lottie, Suze, Anna, Sophie and I, especially with Culture Anna Mount Sahisha. Quote please, I'm not being funny, but after you see one temple, you've kind of seen them all, haven't you? I could never understand why Weases booked her flights 2 weeks later than the rest of us, until I came across her comment on a photo of me trekking up a mountain. Gee, you're trekking? Thank God you got that out of the system before I arrived.
Our group didn't call our 3 months around Southeast Asia a pastry tour for nothing, as food took up around 70% of our time and conversation. Every night, Weases would present the group with her 2 options for dinner. Guys, what's more healthy, a pizza or a burger or a tuna pizza? I think maybe the tuna pizza because it's got fish on it. Clearly the heat was making her delusional. A recent discovery of a mysterious receipt in Wease's room led to the unearthing of what Wease ate on our last night in Vietnam. 1 times burger, extra cheese, extra bacon. 1 times chocolate cake, extra scoop of ice cream. May I point out that this was in an authentic Vietnamese restaurant, where the rest of us felt the need to try the local dishes. Wease, not so much. This led her to relate to Regina George's problem, claiming with horror that sweatpants are all that fits me right now. Money well spent, Brian Drew.
Wease and I share a love of horrific but very addictive reality TV shows like The Hills and The City. After living through the exposures of D-list celebrities, I guess it was only a matter of time before Wease herself hit the headlines. One summer in Stockholm transpired that the last night had been a bit too eventful. The boys had got completely out of hands, throwing punches as well as firecrackers. The next day I got a phone call from Wease in a sheer panic about whether to knock on the neighbour's door and beg for forgiveness or to just do a run-up. I don't know what happened, but 2 days later I came downstairs to find my mum reading the newspaper. Peering over her shoulder, one article caught my eye in particular, entitled, "Salcombe, a resort ruined by binge drinkers." "Isn't that where Wease goes?" she asked. "Oh yeah, I think so," I replied vaguely, never thinking for a moment there'd be any connection. She carries on, reading out an extract from an irate Martin in Hampshire, complaining of his teenage neighbours, the final straw being an extraordinarily awful final night, which involved shouting, swearing, fighting, and setting off the band into the early hours. Over, Louisa. In the 8 years that I have known you, you have certainly provided a lot of entertaining moments. So many of my best memories involve you, and if things go wrong, you're always there with a cup of tea and piles of wisdom to bestow. You've been the best friend I could ask for, and it is testament to how much I love you that I'm stood here speaking in front of all of these people. Andrew and Brownie, I know you're very proud of your lovely daughter, and so you should be. She's proof of the saying that blondes have more fun. And I'm sure she'll go far in life, even if both Mrs. Price and the Morris test are convinced that she'll fix up to be a librarian. You'll cut out the greater things of you.
Wease is one of the best friends I could ask for, and there's never a dull moment without her. Blondes have more fun than brunettes, ethos to life, as she constantly likes to remind me. Wease, you look amazing tonight, and thank you for being such a fantastic and loyal friend. I don't know what I'd do without your pep talks and wise words. Now, I feel your speech wouldn't be complete without a quote from our favourite Latin teacher, Mr. Grant, and I'm sure he would want me to remind you this on your 21st birthday. Louisa, you should always put a title on your work, and that applies for looking for a future husband too.
Thank you to Brian and Andrew for making tonight possible and for bringing this amazing girl into all of our lives.
Yeah. Could you please raise your glasses in a toast to Andrew, Brian, and the birthday girl?